Let's take a look at your common shutoff valve. This is one that you see most often, and they were sold. And they usually had a blue or red handle on them. Yeah, so hot was red and blue was cold. A lot of them had these little bleeders on them. And when you gotta rebuild these, you gotta make sure you have that in there. Or you have to put something in there to seal that up. So you gotta make sure they're intact. Now, just about any valve is rebuildable. And I want to look at this one because it was commonly used. So, now normally you're going to be working on this right up on the ceiling, but so I can show you better. And of course we took the handle off. And we're going to remove the, not the packing nut yet, we're going to remove the inside. Okay, you can see our inside of there. Now what you look down at that seat. Most of the time your seats are good in valves because they just don't get a lot of use. So very rarely will a seat be ground in a valve. But most of the time, a lot of valves use those beveled washers. So a flat seat tool isn't going to cut it because it's a beveled seat. So let's take a look at our, looks like it's a pretty rough shape, the screw. And that's not going to come off. Next thing I want to do is dig out the old washer that's in there, and then try to take the screw out of this one. Okay, I've dug it out. And always keep in mind, a little WD-40 on these old valves when you're taking them apart helps out. Now at this point, I usually use needle nose or vice grips to get that loose. That's in there pretty good. We're going to go ahead and use a pair of vice grips. Try and get that out of there. Usually I use needle nose vice grips. Oh, okay. We got it. If you if your head breaks off when you're trying to unscrew it, don't mess around with it. Get that gasket out of there and use vice grips or needle nose pliers to get that out. Okay, next we need to find a washer that's going to work in here. Alright, I found a replacement washer and it has a bevel on it. And I got a screw that'll fit that. Okay, our replacement washer is in place. And at this point, that's all we have to do on this part. Now, on your case here, there is a little washer that you have to keep track of when you put these together. And usually they are there because valves don't get a lot of work on. Now you could put some Teflon tape on these threads if you're missing that little thing there, and it might seal up for you. So at this point we're going to put our valve back together. Tighten it up. Now we have a new washer in our valve. Now the packing nut. Usually your packing nuts are okay, but if they're not, you can see the packing nut is right here, or the packing's in here. If your packing nut is almost all the way turned in, and you can't tighten it anymore, you can add some packing to it. When you're done and you have a little leak between the stem and the packing nut, you're just going to keep tightening that up. A quarter turn. And try it. Now, I usually don't open the valve all the way. I usually turn it in just a little bit. And if it still leaks, another quarter turn. And you keep on doing that until your valve seals. This one will definitely seal. You can feel how tight it is. The looser they are, the more prone to leakage. So if you need to replace some of your packing, you'd buy a product like this. This is what they sell now. This is a Teflon. You can also get a graphite packing. I have some road packing that's old that I kind of use from time to time. You just want to wrap that around there. Usually 1.5 times. And then put your nut back on. Make sure it all stays in there. And tighten that up a bit. And there you have it. Your valve should be ready to go. You don't have to do any soldering. All you're going to do is remelt the inside of the valve if it doesn't hold. A new washer, new screw, add it to the packing. Make sure this gasket was still in there. We made sure our little rubber thing is still in there. And if you don't have that, you can probably cut something to fit in there. But there you have it, our rebuilt valve. It works great. And no soldering. You just have to remelt it and you're good to go.